Hello YouTube, I'm here to tell you how to travel, go to outings such as concerts and plays and restaurants while disabled and enjoy yourself and have a good time. Um, First, you guys know that I have heart disease and it makes me very sick and it makes me very tired, but I still like to have a good time. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. These are little things that I do. You have to make sure that you have a lot of rest before the event because traveling is very taxing on your body, and even though that you're going to have a good time at that event, you don't want to be overly tired or sick. Make sure that you plan alternate routes, also alternate modes of transportation, because sometimes things are turned around as delays and everything, and um, transportation is rerouted, and you don't want to be stuck, not knowing how to get to the event in advance. So it's best to really plan your trip and make sure that you can get there. I live in the New York tri-state area, and if you look online, they have something called MTA Trip Planner. So what it is like it's an online map, and it shows you the directions how to get to different places. And if you're disabled, you put in that you're disabled, and it will show you the stations that have like elevators and you know things like that, so you don't have to do a whole lot of walking when you're trying to travel, because it's very, very hard to travel while disabled. So make sure that you look at that in advance, and if possible, try to plan out your trip. I say, if you can, 2 or 3 weeks in advance, and that will make it a lot easier for you when you thinking of going to this event and when you get there. When ordering tickets, make sure, like if you're going to a concert or a play, inquire about the disabled seating. Disabled seating is better if you're disabled, because most events I go to, just about every event, is going to be a lot of people. There is always going to be a line at the bathroom. And you don't want to have to be, sick or anything, waiting to get into the bathroom and just waiting and waiting and waiting. Disabled seating most of the time is close to a bathroom where you don't even have to wait in line, and it's very close by. So also, I have some little notes here, as you guys can see, so I wouldn't forget anything. Leave early enough so you don't have to rush to go to these events, because like I said before, sometimes it's traffic delays and tie-ups, and you don't want to be rushing and at the last minute and or get to your event too late. One time I went to an event. I left kind of early, but I should have left earlier, and there was a delay on the highway. I got to the event. I didn't get there as soon as it started, and I was upset about that. So if possible, leave before time. I do a lot of traveling by bus and trains, because where I live, you really don't have to have a car. You really don't. And just make sure you leave early. Bring your medications. That's important, because you want to be able to feel good and feel comfortable at your event. If you have to eat before you take your medicine, you do that. You eat something and then you take your medications, because you don't want to be at the event all sick and sluggish and everything. Always have a companion with you, a traveling companion, because one time I was on the train and I saw this man, and he was going to an event, and he was in his wheelchair and he was by himself, and it's so much easier if you have someone that can help you along and be there with you and everything, because people also prey on disabled people. they see you're disabled and you in wheelchairs and that type of thing, they may try to take advantage of you. So it's a good idea to bring someone with you, even if you have to pay their way. Sometimes you might have to, if you don't have anybody else, you know, for instance, if they don't have their own money, it's best to pay their way, and that way you'll have a companion with you. Make sure that the event is wheelchair and disabled friendly. I have been to some events in New York, and they have like steps you have to go up and didn't have elevators, and that's not good, because if you're in a wheelchair or if you have problems with walking, walking up steps and that type of thing, it wouldn't be good for you. So call in advance and make sure, even before you get your tickets or whatever, make sure that is wheelchair accessible, where you don't have to do a whole lot of climbing steps and stuff. Bring money, just extra money, just in case you have to take a cab, because sometimes after a show or something, you'll be getting out late and you don't want to be waiting in certain spots or unsafe areas. If it would be better for you to take a cab and get somewhere quicker, you do that, because it's much better and easier for you. You guys hear my phone. This always happens when I'm trying to take. So find other disabled people to travel with too, and go to events and have a good time, because a lot of times people isolate disabled people and they feel that they are not supposed to go out and have a good time. And it's a lot of people that are young and they want to enjoy their life just like anybody else, and they should be able to. And there shouldn't be no kind of stigmas or anybody treating them in a funny way because they're disabled. I mean, I have heard people say, well, it's just too much hassle. Why don't they just stay their tails home? No, no. They should be able to enjoy themselves like everybody else. Um, Also find out if your event has comfortable seating, because a lot of these venues, the seat is right up on your knee. It's right up on your knee. And this has happened to me many, many times. And I tough it out, but if I had disabled seating, I would be more comfortable because they usually have better seats. And make sure that if you're driving, even if you're driving, leave ahead of time, because a lot of times there will be some kind of traffic delays. And also make sure that if you're driving, that you bring plenty of money to be able to park close to the event. Now in New York City, parking is really outrageous. You could be parked like blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks away. And to be closer, you're going to pay a lot of money. Parking in New York City is very, very expensive. You could really pay a lot of money just to park. So that's why I prefer to really just take the train or the bus, and maybe bring some extra money just in case I need a cab or something like that. And also, when you leave New York City, if you're taking a, a train or a bus, maybe when you get to your destination, you may have to take a cab, because sometimes the buses start running by a certain time. So these are my tips, and I just want you guys who are disabled, if you are able, some people may be disabled where they can't really go anywhere, but if you can, if you're in a wheelchair, if you have an illness, if you're blind, go and enjoy yourself. Embrace life and have a good time. They have a lot of ways now that you can use disabled transportation and get around, just in case people don't want to take you anywhere, and you can have a lot of fun. I have seen it with my own eyes, and I feel very proud of the people who just embark on embracing their life and just going out just like everybody else and have a lot of fun. It's a lot of things you can do. And just research things on the internet and you'll find out a lot of things to do for disabled people, and you guys are going to have a great time, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Bye.